Hello and welcome to Tech Deals Game Performance Review Time, The Witcher 3. We're playing The Witcher 3 today on this $700 CyberPower gaming PC. I've previously reviewed this computer, link to that review in the video description below, as well as a link to Amazon where I bought it because this thing is a crazy deal. Why? Intel i5 6th generation core processor, 4 cores, up to 3.4 gigahertz processing speed. This is all the CPU most people need. 8 gigabytes of system RAM, a 1 terabyte hard drive, and most importantly, AMD's new RX 480 dedicated gaming graphics card. That is the new graphics card that just came out in the summer of 2016. It is wicked fast. I love this machine. For the money, you cannot get any better performance than this in the summer of 2016. Now, we are playing The Witcher 3 at Full HD 1080p. We have our frame rate counter running up here in the corner. That's Fraps. It'll keep track of our frame rate as we play. I'll show you the details. We're going to do this a couple of times on a couple of different settings. Video, graphics. Now, VSync is turned off and max frames per second is set to unlimited to allow our frame rate counter to go as high as it wants. Normally, I would play with VSync on to avoid screen tearing, but in this case, we have it off. Now, I do have it set to Ultra preset. Note that NVIDIA's Hairworks is on. Most people turn it off for benchmarking. I try not to mess with the settings when I say this game runs at Ultra or this game runs at high. This is one of those exceptions where everybody turns it off, but I'm going to leave it on for a moment. I'm going to show you why. So we're at Ultra. We'll go to post-processing, and that is set to high. So with those settings basically turned up almost as high as they go, you can actually manually turn it up like ambient occlusion can go to BAO rather than SSAO. But we're going to go ahead and leave it at the default presets of Ultra and high detail on post-processing. You'll see we're at about 40 frames a second, and we are not in a busy part of the game. We're on our horse for the first time, and we're just going to go galloping through the countryside to show you the performance. I'm going to hit F11, and the frame rate counter will go away because Fraps is now recording the game rate in the background. Not the video, that would take too much power, but it's recording the frames per second. We'll do this again at high detail instead of Ultra. And at the end of this video, I'll show you both results showing minimum, maximum, and average. And something new on this computer, a chart showing frame rate over time so you can see the peaks and valleys. Enough talking. So let's go walking around to generate some performance. We'll go running this way, which is not the correct way. Yes, I know. But it gets us some performance. It gets us an idea of the performance. Boy, that looks scary. I'm glad I don't have to fight anybody over there. And we'll go running up this road. And we'll trot. So many corpses, and the war has just started. Yes, it has. And a galloping we will go. A galloping we will. Nah, okay, I shouldn't sing. That's pretty cool. Take a look at the scenery. It's a gorgeous game. I mean, the grass basically looks photorealistic. The grass is incredible. Now, the problem is it's killing performance. Is this playable? Yes, it is. But I will say, wow, that grass is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Aww, they lost everything. You know, it's realistic until you look at the burned out building, but wow. Look at that. This is one of the prettiest games I review. It's just stunning. It looks like you're outside. Oh, there's some bad guys. Shall we kill them? Do just a bit of basic combat. Well, I kind of missed and sucked. That's okay. It doesn't matter. We'll go back running this way. Now, I'm doing this for a reason. And that reason is this. F11. I have stopped the frame record run. And I want to demonstrate because I've made comments in the past. If you've watched my channel for a while, I've previously reviewed the AMD RX 480 graphics card separately, and I commented that it will play most games at ultra detail at 1080p at 60 frames a second. Most. This is one of the exceptions. Games like Crysis 3, Witcher 3, a few others are the exception, although Crysis 3 came pretty close. If you haven't seen that review yet, it came pretty close. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to come in here to Options, Video, Graphics, High. That makes a world of difference. So I'm going to leave everything at default, but I'm going to set it to High. I'm going to come up to Post-Processing, and I'm going to hit Medium. So I've gone from ultra main detail and high post-processing to high detail and medium post-processing. What does that do to the game? Yeah, it looks a little different. Look at our frame rate. F11. I'm going to do the same thing running over here, but not too far. I don't want to trigger the next section. Turn around. And we will run back up to the start point because the goal is to have run over the same space. Actually, I'll come out here and trigger the bad guys just for a second, then we'll run back over up to the space. And my horse needs the stamina again. Stamina. My horse is tired. So I'm just trying to cover this, and I'm doing it backwards, but I'm covering the same general area that I went the last time. Visually, can I see a difference? Yes. You may not be able to see it because I'm filming a monitor with a camera, and unless you're watching this on a 4K monitor, now this is a 1080p monitor taking up a portion of the screen. So if you're watching this on a 1080p monitor, you're only getting like half HD, you may not see the difference. But what I will say is I see a difference. The grass is not quite as sharp or quite as dense. The trees aren't quite as perfect. The hair is not quite as perfect, but it's really close. It's really close. One more quick run. Now, I am fully aware that different parts of this game will have different performance levels. Certainly in some of the busier areas in town, it will make, well, at least the horse is smart enough not to run off the edge. Hey, the horse ran up that. Good for the horse. All right, F11. Okay, now I know I'm just running the horse. I know I'm not showing you later parts of the story and towns and everything. I'm simply trying to show a performance level that's possible and different with two different graphic settings to give you an idea of the game. The other thing is I've used this section of the game in my other game performance videos on lesser computers so you can compare my other game performance videos to this. It's repeatable. It's very easy for me to run back and forth and show you this area. Let's go take a look at those results. And we're back with the results. When we had the details set to ultra preset, including hairworks and high post-processing, we had an average of 43 frames per second, a minimum of 31 and a max of 53. Was it playable? Yes. A little bit laggy. There was a little bit of delay between pressing the keys and actions on the screen. It's absolutely playable, except that we're just riding our horse in the countryside. Nothing's happening. We're not doing anything. When you get into later parts of the game, into the busy stuff, that's going to be a problem. That's going to slow down. I don't recommend this computer for ultra detail at 1080p. It's just a bit too much for it. However, what happens when we turn the detail down just one notch? High detail preset on the main graphics and medium on post-processing, 62, almost 63 frames per second, a minimum of 54, that is a huge improvement over the minimum of 31 at Ultra, and a max of 73. Let's take a look at performance over time. This graph you're looking at right here is the first run, Ultra and High, Ultra main, High post-processing. It's reasonably smooth. There's only one spot in there where it dipped down to 31. Otherwise, it stayed at about 40, went up to about 50 a couple times. That's not bad. That was pretty smooth. Now, we did basically the same thing the whole time, which is why it's smooth. But I think that's going to suffer later in the game. This chart shows the second run. The very top line on this chart is 80 frames a second. Then it goes down by tens, 80, 70, 60, 50. The main section of performance is between 60 and 70. So at high main preset and medium post-processing, will this $700 computer play The Witcher 3 at 1080p at 60 plus frames per second? Yes, it will. If you don't like some of the choices in those presets, by all means, customize them. Nothing says that you can't turn hairworks off completely, maybe turn off anti-aliasing. You can put a few back to ultra, maybe move a few to medium. Absolutely, play with the presets if you like certain aspects of the game more than others. And of course, if you want even more performance in this, you can turn the detail down to medium and medium or medium and low if you really want to. What about 1440p? I suspect medium and low presets will run at 1440p at 60 frames a second. I may have to test that. We're running at 1080p. This is one of those games that just needs lots of performance. And if you want to play at 1440p with all the details turned up, you need more graphics card than this. But in terms of price to performance, this $700-ish computer is a killer deal because you got to spend a lot more money to get much more performance than this. And remember that whether your detail is at ultra or high, the game's the same. The play's the same, the fun's the same, the experience is the same. Sure, the graphics are different, but hey, even at medium detail, this looks much better than games of 5 years ago, so there's that too. Did you like this video? Click like. Did you not? Don't. Remember to subscribe to my channel. It's the big red button right down there. If you've already subscribed, thank you. If not, subscribe to get notifications of future videos, performance on this and other computers, unboxings, hardware reviews, how-to videos, and other cool stuff. Leave your questions and comments in the comment section below the video. And as always, check out the video description to my links and reviews of this computer, as well as the link to Amazon, where I bought it and where you should buy it, because they sell this for a great, great price. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.